I'm Andy Hodge. I'm CEO and one of the people that founded AL about a year ago. But yeah, I've been lucky enough to be part of first generation and a lot after that for both iPod, iPhone, HoloLens, and was a drop cam too, most recently, before we did this.
So lots of experience in consumer hardware.
And software. I mean, I think the thing is, all I've ever loved is I just love the idea of design and development, right? Like, how can one team take more or less the same starting point and another, and you end up with a very different, car or house or phone or whatever. But that idea of what does it take to make amazing instead of just okay has always been the thing that I'm just super interested in.
Awesome. So what is AL?
So AL is a company based on the idea that the car needs security badly. When we think about the home and the fact that a lot of people have home security systems, they have those because things happen, right? Break-ins happen, package thefts, fires. Makes sense to have a home security system. But you're far more likely to have something happen around the car, and nobody's built a car security system. And we feel like people need that, and along the way building it the last year, we found out, one, you can build something that helps in crashes, dents, stops, and break-ins, to give you video of those things. But we also found that if you make it crazy easy to use, it's also fun to have in the car too.
Yeah. Can you show it to us?
Sure. This is the package, right? We're launching the company here on 2/1. The idea of the box is that it's not here to be presented to you, it's here to help you know how to install it quickly. So we designed this around the idea that hopefully you can install it in your car in 5 minutes and have it look great. So the first thing you get are the 4 steps to install. And then this is the heart of the system. This is the AL car camera. I'm going to turn this around, right?
And so you put this on the dashboard?
Yeah, basically, I mean, it hangs just above the dashboard in the center. And you have a inside camera and a touch screen. A couple of security lights you can turn on if someone's in your car and they're not supposed to be. On this side, you have the camera that points down the road.
So you have 2 cameras.
We have 2 cameras that record simultaneously. And then we have a little beacon on the top. So at night, in your neighborhood, there's a little green glowing beacon that says, this car has a video security system, don't break into it. And if they do break into it, I'll catch them on the inside camera. And packed inside of this are a few tricks. There's a lot of memory, there's a lot of processor, there's Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPS, but there's also an LTE modem. So if that person messes with your car at night, you get that an alert and a video alert of what's happening in your car right away.
Do you actually upload the videos on that LTE?
We do. So we use the LTE to send the video clip of when something happens. So if someone, say, breaks your window, that video clip goes immediately up to the cloud, back down to your phone. And then what's kind of the cool part is you can also live view your car. So you can use the LTE to see exactly what's happening right now. And then these 2 lights are like bright LEDs like on a headlamp. And so you can also turn those lights on at night to see exactly who's inside your car. And there is also an intercom. So you can say, hey, dude, what are you doing in my car? But what you're probably trying to do is mostly have people believe, hey, this system already exists. You saw the green light, don't mess with my car to begin with.
So it's video surveillance for your car. It's a dash cam as well when you drive.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what's interesting about these things right now is if you think about security cameras, people definitely talk about security cameras being used a little bit to catch family moments. And you also think about, say, action cameras as something that you definitely see people sometimes using those to try to catch someone who's messing with their stuff or beside their house. What we've really done here is we think build something completely different, because when you're driving along, if you see something, you just say our trigger word, which happens to be okay presto, and then you just say what happened. And so say what happened might be that guy just cut me off, or there was an accident, or a pothole, or there was a double rainbow, or a meteor. Whatever you describe, that video clip now goes up to the cloud and back down to your phone, and you have the clip of that event that makes it super easy to share out. But the whole idea is to get the things that matter to your phone quickly, because that's the place that you're going to be able to share it out.
So we reviewed several dash cams,
right.
And one of the hard thing with them is really get the videos out of the device.
Yeah.
So they all have SD cards and so on. So how does it work with this?
So how it works with this is there's an app that's on the phone, right? Here, I can show you that. But basically, I'm not sure you're going to be able to see this here, but the app is set up with 3 major headings, right? Clips, sorry, it's hard to show this. Clips, and that's where your newest clips just come into, right? So here would be the clips of things that we were just, say, shooting today. These are ones where we have the inside camera off.
So it syncs through Bluetooth with
Nope, it syncs through LTE. So the thing with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi is they're both things that mostly work but don't work all the time. So the model here is we record everything over the last 24 hours here locally, but we only upload it if you shout out and say it's interesting or if it sets off an alarm. And so these clips are 20-second clips of the things that happened in the last day where either we sent an alert to you because we saw someone messing with your car while you were away, or they're the things where you shouted out in the car and said, hey, I think I saw something cool.
Right. So what's the limit on the clips that you can upload through the LTE service?
So the limit really...
Is it unlimited or...?
It's not unlimited in the sense that, of course, it costs LTE data. So what we do is the camera comes with a subscription, and the subscription gives you either 60 minutes of live view of the car a month or 60 of those video clip tags. And so realize each one of those is both the inside and outside if you have the inside camera on, sent up to the cloud and back down to your phone securely. So you either get 60 of those a month, so say 2 a day, or you get 60 minutes of being able to see what's happening in your car where you're around.
Awesome.
Right.
So what if I want more?
If you want more, there's an in-app purchase for basically $10. You can buy another set of that anytime you want. So yeah, if you, for instance, were going on a family vacation to Yellowstone and you're like, hey, I'm going to do more than that, right? You can just make a $10 in-app purchase, and now you just doubled the amount you have for that month.
But I cannot get it out from the device. I mean, through the app or through Wi-Fi. Or
oh no, you can do that too. So I think that kind of 2 different things here. The experience that we find is most exciting is that you do whatever you do in the car, and then you go into the coffee shop, for instance, and that's when you're sitting down and you say, hey, wait, I remember seeing that. I remember a few years ago I had a badger family cross in front of me, right, when I was in Colorado. But it's when you're, say, sitting there getting a cup of coffee that you can pull up the phone, right? You can pull up that clip. You can find the right start, the right stop, change its name, and zoom in, right? We have 2x zoom on the forward camera. And then just with 1 click, you can share it to Instagram or your insurance company or text it or email it or to, to one of the other social media outlets. And so this is the thing for us is we think video is powerful, right? Like it's an amazing way to report things that are wrong, but of course it's about getting the video and sharing it. If you make it too hard to your point with an SD card, the bar of the things you will share goes down. And so sure, if you have an accident that affects you, you will take the time to get that SD card and get the clip off. But there's a lot of smaller things that happen. And I think about my mother who lives out in Savannah near some of my other family. But if I in 10 seconds can send her a video of something my kids do in the back seat, that's a wonderful way to kind of connect with her. But it's also true if in 10 seconds I can share, that's the world's best crossing guard, that's doing a great job of protecting the kids. That to me is just as important as, say, reporting a bad driver or a pothole.
Awesome. Tell us more about the price, the availability, and where we can buy the device.
Okay, so we launched the company on the 1st of February. And we're kind of old school. We launched the company, we take orders, and we are shipping units all at the same time. The device itself, with a 1-year subscription, will be $349. Later in the year, we'll sell the camera alone for $299, and of course, the LTE service is $10 a month, and so that $349 offering day 1 is a $70 savings off of buying those things separately.
Can you use the camera without the LTE service?
You can. So everything broadly we talked about still works as long as you're within LTE range, or within Wi-Fi range, and you make the connection. So a good example would be you might have the kind of suburban house where your Wi-Fi goes out to the garage, in which case you potentially can connect that and everything can work. But the tough thing about Wi-Fi is, especially when you think about your phone and what it connects to, is it's trying to decide which thing to connect to. So when you imagine these conditions where you're, say, parked out in front of the house or in the garage, there are going to be times where your phone's a little confused. And over Wi-Fi 1, it may take you a few taps like it does on other dash cameras that have Wi-Fi now, right? But you'll still be able to get all the content on and off. And of course, I won't do a very good job of warning you if someone's breaking into your car, probably over Wi-Fi, because in general, if your car's within Wi-Fi, it's probably not so interesting to send you that. So it's a much better experience, we think, for people to have the LTE2, because then they can kind of do anything from anywhere and get an alert from anywhere. But absolutely, the product would still be, I think, like by far the best dash camera I've ever seen if it was just over Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Awesome. Last question, and that's about the company.
Yeah.
Tell us more. So you're based here in Palo Alto.
Yeah.
Are you VC funded? How many employees? I see some developers here, but
yeah, well. Look, we started the company just over a year ago, and we were lucky enough to have people that stepped up. And yeah, we are VC funded, right? And
how much did you raise?
We've raised $18 million, right? And we're super proud of the people that are involved, right? Our A round was led by a new firm, Defy, right? But then also the seed funders followed on, which was led by Khosla Ventures. So Khosla, Menlo, and Sherpa are among our investors. There are a number of others, including Motive, right? Maniv, and then AAA of California, or CSAA.
Right.
Yeah.
How many employees so far?
Oh, sorry. We have 39 employees, I want to say, today. Is that right? So I think that when you look at what we've done, which is basically build a miniature cell phone in a new form factor and develop a custom OS and cloud service and application to go with it, that's not a lot of people ramping up over the last
1 year.
And in 1 year. But it is partly that the people here really are exceptional. I mean, people can say that in a lot of ways, but we're super lucky that we have a mix of people who have built a lot of things, a little bit like JP and I, but we also have a lot of people that are people I've met in the last few years that are those people that they've maybe worked on one or two things that maybe kind of worked, but maybe weren't as successful as they could have been, and so they're hungry, right? And so what you're really after is those people where small teams can do a lot, but you need people that are, that want to do something really well. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.